Yo, what's going on, Kicks Army? Today I'll be doing a sneaker drawing on the Air Max 95 Comet that's set to release later on this month, as well as talking about Joel Embiid signing a 5-year deal with Under Armour, and Jimmy Butler having a very interesting day practicing with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's get it! Before we get into anything that has to deal with the rest of the video, I do understand that I also missed another day yesterday, guys. I do apologize, but life is actually getting not only very, very busy, but very, very interesting right now. I don't want to say too much, even though I probably will anyway, but let's just say that moves are being made. Not a lot of moves, but just enough moves to put me in the right direction. Now, if you're curious as to what those said moves are, it's basically a combination of, well, I mean, a good percentage of it is schoolwork and stuff, because school is actually getting super, super interesting this quarter. But another aspect of it is a lot of freelance opportunities that I've gotten over the past few days. That coupled with internship opportunities and other opportunities that deal with the arts in general. So overall, a lot of good stuff's happening, and it's gonna take a little bit for all these things to come into fruition. So as time does go on, I'll make sure to elaborate on all these different things, but let me give you guys a quick primer on all the things that I'm currently working on, because it's a lot more than just KicksArt. Like, this is just an aspect of what I do, and I do try to make a lot of time for this. This whole KicksArt thing takes about a good 4.5 hours out of each day to execute it the way I want to. And it is a lot of time, but I do believe this is gonna pay off. Like I said this before, and I'll say it again, don't be surprised, all right? Do not be surprised when the day comes when one of these big sneaker companies is like, hey, KicksArt, we like what you do. You're pretty popular, you do good stuff, and you do it on a very consistent basis. We wanna work with you on like a model or whatever, you know, doing custom collaboration or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I guess I can fit that in my schedule. When like on the inside, I'm like, yes, finally. I don't think that that's really too far-fetched to say. Obviously, what I'm doing on this channel is very, very specific. I am doing sneaker drawing videos and how to draw videos, but it's just mainly sneaker drawing videos in general, as well as talking about basketball. So it's not like it's a super, super niche audience that I'm appealing to, but I mean, let's be real, it is pretty niche. But every day, this niche audience is getting a little bit bigger and bigger, so over time, I'll reach that 100K mark. That has always been my goal ever since I started the channel. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but man, if I just keep making these videos, it will happen, and when that day comes, I'm gonna be super excited. Alright, so all that YouTube goodness to the side, okay, because basically my day has 3 core elements for the most part. I have YouTube, okay, I definitely have to sleep, obviously, and stuff, so that doesn't really count. But I also have school and I have work. Now, work is work, and the very interesting about work is, in case you guys don't already know, I work at a UPS store, and I'm only going to be working there until the end of this year, because starting next year, I'm going to be doing an internship. It's going to be a paid internship. So basically, the hours that I'm working at my job right now will be replaced with the hours working at an internship. And in terms of the internship, there is a good chance that I already have the place where I'd want to intern pretty much lined up. I would be finding out the specifics on that, I believe, towards the start of next month, so I'll make sure to let you guys know more on that, but just know that that is in the works, and that's going to be really awesome, because I'm going from working where I'm working at right now, which I do graphic design where I'm at right now, but then I'm going to be going to a place that allows me to really use my skills. It's really going to help advance what I do, and it's going to bring me closer to the professional level that I want to be at. So to summarize, just really exciting, okay? I'm really excited about that one thing in particular. Besides those things, I obviously do a lot of freelance work, and that is separate in of itself because it's pretty much broken down into 2 different components. One major component of it is that I do a lot of design work for Society. It's a sneaker boutique that's located in downtown Tampa, so I've known the guy for a few years, ever since he first opened up his first shop. I've been building on this relationship for a few years, so ever since he moved down to his new location in downtown Tampa, I've been coming at him every single week with new t-shirt designs, and that in and of itself is really interesting, because when you think about it, it's not just, hey, I'm gonna make this design for you and you're gonna sell it and it's gonna have the name Society on it or whatever the case. You also gotta think about it, it's whatever I'm designing and whatever he chooses represents his brand, right? So we're not only designing t-shirts, I'm also designing like the signage for the store, any decals he needs, posters. I do artwork for the store. I do a lot for the store, and it's really cool because it's that one-to-one connection with the business owner that I really have a lot of say, or I guess not say, but I have a lot of influence in the things that he can do to help his store visually look good. Obviously, I'm getting paid for this, but it's really cool because not only am I making money, but I'm also learning a lot about design and different elements. You know, they kind of teach us the basics of these things in school, but we didn't really get to deep too far into it like I am with this boutique. So that whole piece of freelance work is really exciting, and I just love the opportunities that will eventually come from that. Once we start dropping more t-shirts and stuff, I'll be sure to let you guys know, and I'll have links to them in the description down below. And then besides that, I also do one-off freelance jobs here and there. I mainly do a lot of stuff that's local, so that way I can try to advertise my brand and stuff. But another thing I've been doing recently, and it's been over the past few days, I'm not going to get too far into detail with this because I don't know if it's going to go into fruition just yet, but I am potentially working with a bigger YouTuber, a YouTuber that I've been following for a while now that's in the creative space, and I may be able to do some freelance work with him, and that's going to be a nice little gig as well. Again, when all the details for any one of these things really come into fruition, they really get fleshed out, I'll be sure to let you guys know as soon as I find out about them. For the first interesting basketball story of the day is that we see that Joel Embiid got a nice little deal. He got a 5-year deal with Under Armour. When asked about his new shoe deal, he had a very interesting quote. He said, "There is a stereotype about big men that can't sell shoes, but when I look at myself, I'm not a big man, I'm a guard." That to me is a very, very interesting statement because A, it's a mindset thing, right? He's not looking at himself as a big man, he's looking at himself more as a guard. And he doesn't mean that he's literally a guard, but in terms of how he can sell himself as a player, he's not selling himself as a stereotypical big man that's just unrelatable. He's selling himself as a fun, relatable guard. Think about it, when you compare like the sales of footwear from centers or power forwards to the sales that compare to like point guards, shooting guards, and or power forwards, it pales in comparison, right? We can just take like the obvious ones first. You know, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, like just look at all those, right? Those aren't big man whatsoever. When we look at the big man spot, obviously we have Shaquille O'Neal. That is almost a category in and of itself because he got a huge boost through Walmart. So it's kind of a different sector of the footwear field when we compare it to everything else. And don't get me wrong, he's had amazing numbers, but Joel Embiid is not trying to sell his stuff at Walmart. He made a deal with Under Armour, so because he made his deal with Under Armour, that's a completely different sector. We're not even putting those two in the same category because they're really not. I mean, I hate to say it, but like it's the difference between like a McDonald's and an Olive Garden or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just two different types of people you're trying to get with that. If there is a big man in the game who definitely deserves a shoe deal and who's probably going to sell a lot of shoes, and obviously the shoe sales not only involve the player who's endorsing it, but also the shoe itself, it's gotta look good. If the shoes don't look good, it almost doesn't matter whose shoe it is, like nobody's gonna buy it. Like if you get a pair of LeBrons, right, and it's like the Air Monarch 4s or whatever that dad shoe is that's just like memed up to this point, it's probably not gonna sell too good. Actually, no, I take that back. If you took if you took the Air Monarch 4 and you said it was a LeBron James shoe and you gave it like a LA colorway, I'm not gonna lie, I might copy it. It's a LeBron James shoe. Okay, so that's a terrible example. Let's forget that. You understand what I'm saying though? The shoe itself has to look good to an extent. It doesn't have to be the greatest shoe we've ever seen. We don't have that expectation. If it's nice, if it's a decent price, we'll probably buy it. But there is definitely also that aspect of the player who it's being endorsed by, right? We also have like a separate connection with that player. Back when Derrick Rose was in his prime, I mean, I guess he should be in his prime now, but before he got injured, right, when we were talking about the MVP Derrick Rose, I wanted D-Rose shoes. I wanted those shoes because he was my favorite player without a doubt. I'm like, oh my god, this guy is amazing. I love his style of play. I want the sneakers, and the sneakers look good too, so that was also a plus. I'm not gonna lie, when he started to get all those injuries in a short amount of time, it was almost like an out of sight, out of mind thing. Like, I still miss the old Derrick Rose, but there's something to be said about like the availability that you have as a player. If you're injured all the time like he was, if you're not on the court, I'm just not going to remember you as much as I'm remembering everybody else that I'm seeing. So because of that, my interest for him and his sneakers waned heavily. Whereas Joel Embiid, this guy is always super entertaining. He's always fun on and off the court, and besides that, he's a really good player. Okay, and he's really young, so he's probably going to be really good for like a long time. Okay, so he definitely has the perfect storm of things needed to go ahead and sell a lot of sneakers. And Under Armour as a company is still trying to compete with Adidas and Nike, so whatever whatever shoes they do for any one of the players they're endorsing, they know that they have to do all that they can to make sure those shoes look like fire, so that way they can get those sales, so that way they can try to contain their spot and or eclipse one of the other two companies. I don't think that's going to happen, but it helps when you have a lot of interesting players on your side like Steph Curry and Joel Embiid. Now, Jimmy Butler had a very interesting day at practice today. Like, guys, this is nuts. Apparently, at one point during the practice, he pointed to the GM Scott Layden and screamed, "You bleeping need me, you can't win without me." He also took a number of the third string players and beat the starters. Okay, so that's already sending a message like, I can take the worst guys on our team and I can beat the best guys on our team because I am the best guy on our team. He was also saying to Karl Anthony Towns, he can't do ish against me. And apparently he did like an interview with ESPN's Rachel Nichols and he talked a lot about this. I have not had the opportunity to check out that interview, but I would definitely check it out either some point tonight and or tomorrow, and I would discuss about it more because, guys, like, this all just happened and then he had an interview on the same day. Like, that's pretty crazy. And I've seen certain clips of it where he talks about it. Like, this is really interesting. They either need to trade him or they need to accept the fact that he is the alpha male on that team. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody wants it as bad as him combined. Regardless if he stays or if he gets traded, I think Jimmy Butler has gained a lot of new fans all over the league. So you know what? One clap, one time for Jimmy Butler real quick. But that's gonna do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bounce past the bell to get post notifications. Don't forget to visit kicksart.com for all your sticker stencil needs. Guys, I upload videos almost every day. It's supposed to be every day, but it doesn't always work out that way. But with that being said, you guys already know that I'm uploading a video tomorrow, so I will see you guys then. Yay!